don't care if you smiled every Sunday, shook the old folks' hand, hosted every party, taught every class, preached your pretty sermon to your ladies once a year. Once the bishop is done with you, it's Cinderella time.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? You've now tuned into my Greenleaf recap. Thanks for tuning in. And I see, I've noticed that the Greenleaf videos are not getting that much views at this time, or that many views. I should speak correct English. But it's perfectly fine for right now. I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. If it's not something that you guys are really that interested in, then I may just cut it out. Or, like I said, we might just do a trial run. I actually really like this show, so I don't mind that much. But, of course, I like people to watch as well. Shout out to you guys that have been riding with me and that have been watching these recaps. I definitely appreciate it. Also, make sure that you share and all that other good stuff. And check out my main channel, Samore Love TV. Without the real, because that's where I have my love and hip hop Hollywood recaps going down, and it's getting pretty steamy. All right, guys, so let's go ahead. I don't know what that was, but let's go ahead and get into the recaps. Oh, yeah, and shout out to the person that said that I shouldn't quit my day job because my reviews are whack. I've seen that so many times, and it's totally fine. You know, at the end of the day, I do what I do, and I do it because there are people that actually enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Lady Mae, at first when I saw this part, I wrote this because I'm like, it looks like she really ready to go ahead with her divorce, because I seen she got the letter or whatever, and it said dissolution of marriage. So I'm like, oh snap, like the papers that she ordered came in. I don't think I saw any name or anything, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. When Gigi, they was all sitting down eating breakfast. So when Gigi asked her, like, what's going on? Because she looked like she was shocked and she was just like out of it. Once she received that, Gigi's like, what's going on? She's like, you should be lucky that you even in this house. The only reason why you here is because you family, the way you talk to me. And I'm just like, damn, like she can't do nothing right in her mother's eyes. It's a damn shame. But that's pretty much what she had, but she just didn't want anybody to know. But I'm like, I thought it was just she was in her feelings because remember the last episode, she was so adamant about, oh, I am getting a divorce once this is done. But then again, everything ain't done yet. So it is a kind of a surprise that she received those letters, that papers. Charity, she goes to see her father in the office, and she tells him that she quit the tour because he's all like, congratulations on your stuff that you're doing, your tour, your music and everything. And she's just like, I quit it. I've changed paths. I want to be a preacher now. I want you to help me out. And he's just like, let me tell you a little story, Charity. When I was young, I had the opportunity to be a baker. Did you know that? But I ended up going down the path of being a bishop. She's like, wow, Dad, you never told me that story. He's like, yeah, exactly, because it never happened. I was like, oh, shit. Yo, homie Dad got jokes. He was like, it never happened because preaching is not something that's a second choice or a fallback plan or a plan B or anything like that. This is something that you're chosen. I guess he's trying to say pretty much it's something that you're chosen to do. This is something that you're called to do. Not know, oh, I had a dream last night. Because, like, come on. She sound like West Indian people's mothers, like, oh, I had a dream last night, and they said that I was supposed to do this. You know how many times I heard that kind of stuff growing up about a dream? And I've had those types of dreams, but I don't know. I haven't been having too many of them that kind of are like premonition type of things recently, but I had a few here and there. But back when I was younger, I had a whole ton load of them. But I thought that was so hilarious because he did. It was like a got him type of moment. Gigi, she goes now to see her father next. And she actually found out that the dissolution of marriage papers were sent from him. So he revealed it to her. And Lady Mae, at the same time, she ends up going to the lawyer, or her lawyer, I should say, her new lawyer. The lawyer tells her she has to pay $10,000 and she's going to go ahead and help her. She's not a Christian, but you should be thankful that she's not a Christian, because that means she's going to go even harder. She's not going to have any compassion because this man is the head of the church or anything like that. She did tell her to kind of be prepared as a warning that once this is all over, you're not going to get what you feel you deserve. You're going to become kind of like Cinderella. Like, you're going to be kind of like a has-been. Nobody's gonna really look up to you the way that they look at you with that sense of admiration and respect and power anymore, because now you're just a regular person in the church, you know? Lady Mae ends up going to like I guess it was like a bar. It kind of reminded me of a day club, but it was more like a bar situation. She has the bartender make her favorite drink, which she's all too familiar about. He didn't even know how to make it. She had to like tell him the exact measurements and everything. So I'm like, damn, girl, you must have been a heavy drinker back in the days, because you know exactly what's supposed to go in there. She sits down, has a drink. She just seems like she was having a good time. She even bought some new friends that she made a drink and told them a story about past times. And it kind of seemed like she just kind of did like a whole 360 back into her old days from what she was saying, because she said that she was supposed to go with this big time person that's on TV, a big time church person. She was supposed to end up going to college with that person. And I guess she would have also been a preacher, because she would have gotten her preacher's degree or whatever you're supposed to get. But at that same moment, that's when her husband, she didn't mention her husband, but at that same moment, that's when he decided that he wanted to keep her. And he kind of gave her ultimatums, if you want to say that, or kind of made her look at him as a reason to stay. And that's exactly what she did. And she ended up going right back to that same bar. So it was funny how, like I said, like everything's kind of ending the way it kind of began, and she kind of started back right at the same place. Jabari, he has already moved on to the next step. I mean, she gave him a call to see how he's doing and kind of tell her, Charity tried to tell him her problems, and he just wasn't really for it. He's just like, I'm really busy right now, and he just kind of hung up the phone. I feel like he seems like the type who just wants to be with whoever's on top and whoever is in the same industry as him. There's some people that do that. They'll only be with, like, let's say doctors or somebody in the medical field, or they want to be with somebody who's in the legal practice or whatever type of thing. And it almost seems like that's kind of what he's doing. He wants the next pretty thing. Oh, goodness, the sun that went down. Hopefully y'all can still see me. That's exactly what he wants. So Charity, she ends up going to visit Jabari after they had that conversation, and she sees that he does have the pretty young thing on the stage singing. So he comes down to her and he's like, did you drive 7 hours? She's like, well, I felt like you said you were too busy, so I felt maybe it would be better for me to come over and we can talk that way. He's like, I'm still busy. She's like, well, I'm here now. I'm ready to do the tour and you can let her go. He's just like, I have a contract with her. I'm not going to just end it the way that I had to end it, the way that you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. I'm going to do what I have to do. You made a choice and I'm going to make a choice as well. And she was like, oh, so it's for her then. You said you love me. And I feel like at that point, at that moment, it kind of really hit her hard, because not too long ago before that, when she had went to pick up the baby from Kevin's house, his boyfriend ends up telling her that he's moving in with him. So it's like, wow, even he found somebody that could love him and be there for him. This person is literally taking her place and she has no one. So I think that was more so a reality check. Like, yo, my life is going to shits. And this man is over here living it up, trying to make a family with my child out of, I guess, maybe what she would call sin or something, you know? And so I feel like that's more so the reason why she just felt like, oh my God. She was like, well, you need to go home. And she's just like, they don't even want me there. He's like, well, I don't want you here. You need to leave. She's like, why didn't you tell me this, that you didn't want to be with me? he's just like, well, I didn't know for a fact what I really wanted, and now I know. He wants to be single and ready to mingle, or he want to be with the next chick. I mean, he knows she can sing, she's beautiful, and she's available. She probably doesn't have any baggage, any kids, anything else, any problems, any issues, so why not, right? Girl. I mean, I guess she's been out of the dating loop so long that she don't even understand how savage people can be. You know? I'm kind of the same way, but my eyes are still open because of all the stuff I've seen in the past. Like, I've been out of commission as far as the dating game for so long that sometimes when my cousin or people are telling me certain things, I'm just like, yeah, I can tell you this, but I don't really know as far as like the rules of the dating game these days per se, because it's been over 10 years since I've actually been out there. Anyway, so now a reporter comes to get a story from Lady Mae about women in leadership, but she wasn't available because she was out getting her party on. So Gigi ends up doing it. And I knew like that would probably spark some more animosity between her and her mother, because her mother will probably think that she's trying to like steal her spotlight, especially with everything that's going down, and hearing how she's moving out of the leadership role is like, oh, so now you gonna be the leader? Like, what's really good? Bishop tells Jacob a story about when he asked his mother to marry him, and how sometimes you have to be bold in certain situations, and you kind of have to, especially with his mother, you kind of have to stand your ground and be firm because she's so stubborn. So he does tell him that he filed for a divorce. And Jacob is like, why the hell would you do that? Because you could tell the bishop was so worried all day. He's been asking about Lady Mae because he knew that somehow, some way, it would affect her. And it would most likely affect her. He was hoping in his head, I guess, that it would turn out a certain way, but it kind of ended up the exact opposite of what he assumed would happen in his head. Bishop, he ends up making a good point when he was talking to Sophia, when they were having like a little conversation. I think it was like dinner. They usually have it with Lady Mae, but she was out doing her thing, like I said. He said that a lot back in the days, he didn't even dream about the stuff that they have been able to attain, the stuff that they have. And he said that he couldn't even dream about it. She was like, dreams are free. He said, yeah, but the crazy thing is that it's such a luxury that you think that it's not something that you can have. And there's a lot of people in this world that feel that way. And that kind of hit home because sometimes, even for myself, I see things and I'm like, I don't know. Like, you want to dream big, but you don't want to be unrealistic at the end of the day. But you just never know. And you have to not give up on your dreams, kind of keep going forward and keep thinking about what you could have and kind of visualize it. So it's definitely a different way of thinking. And I have been doing visualization, so that's helped a lot. But, sometimes you just get to that place just knowing kind of where you came from or where it all started. But, I just thought that was pretty interesting when he said that. He was like, when you're so poor, even dreaming is a luxury. Meanwhile, Tasha and Rochelle, they had like a little chat. They were sitting down, kind of catching up. Rochelle, she's like the one who's more so running the show between her and Tasha. She seems like she's more so out for blood because she did say something about her father. They burned down his church and killed him years ago. So this is why she's doing everything that she can. She wants to see them all go down. She was also the one that opened up the IRS case. And Tasha seems like she's more so, I don't know if I would say regretting, or she may end up regretting this. I feel like she more so has a heart. She even asked her, like, what about your soul? Aren't you thinking about those types of things? And I feel like she's more so open to the repercussions of her actions and what happens next, especially since she's been somebody so into church. She was literally the first lady, so she had to know all that stuff. Charity, she's all in her feelings, and I feel like I feel like she's doing stupid stuff because she ends up telling Kevin while she's talking to him on the phone that she is out on tour with their child, even though he specifically said he did not want that to happen. And of course, being the father, he has rights as well. So I seen some little parts from the other episodes, and it looked like all hell's about to break loose. Like he's about to call the cops or something, pretty much say you kidnapped the baby. And you can definitely do that. I think it's mainly if they have joint custody or something like that. But I guess in a marriage situation, it's automatically. I don't really know how it works, but with all that legal stuff, but that's what it kind of seems like. I guess we shall see. Tasha had told Jacob earlier in the episode that there was some money missing from the church. So he starts to think maybe it could be Zoria, but he doesn't want to believe it. He did bring it up to his wife, but she was like, I don't think so. He speaks to everybody at the church, all the ushers, and then he kind of looked at her. She seemed like she was a little bit guilty when he had the meeting with all of them and kind of giving praise and not even blaming anyone for everything, just kind of looking at them and letting him know that he sees them, he's watching, even if they think he's not. He sees all the things that they do, and he appreciates. Kind of using that reverse psychology. When he comes home, he goes on a rampage, just kind of like throwing all her stuff. And she's, I actually felt a little bad for her because she was just, all her stuff was like on the floor and he was like throwing them on the bed, everything that was organized so well. She's like, stop going through all my stuff. He's like, where's the money? Where's the money? I'm like, maybe he's bugging. Maybe Tasha just kind of made the story up to kind of made him look through the books or whatever. I'm like, maybe she wanted his family to kind of be in turmoil because she knew maybe he might look at her. But no, he looks up in the closet, takes down a box, shakes it out, and within that box was another little black box. A whole ton load of money was there. But then it kind of rang a bell to me because I was like, last week she asked Sophia to get her a burner phone. Where she get the money from? Because remember, he took the cards, he took everything that she could use to buy stuff. So where did she get that money from? So now it kind of all was coming into play and making more sense. I was like, damn, daddy, go ahead. You better do your thing. Be on her ass. Because if you don't, you're going to end up losing her to Satan. Okay? Because, she's been going down a bad path for a while. But it's like now his eyes are open because I guess he sees what could actually happen. May goes to see Bishop, and Bishop ends up apologizing for being so drastic, going so over the top. And she was like, you know what? This forced her to look at herself and her choices that she made in life and where she currently is. And she said that she's grateful for that. So once again, like we were talking about earlier, she kind of now sees, damn, I could have been the person in charge as opposed to the person in the shadows cheering on my man. I could have been that person that other people are cheering on and nobody could ever take that from me. So now she knows like he's kind of like the puppet master at the end of the day. He can always take everything or anything that he wants from her. But she could have been the one to kind of build her fame, create her own church, be on TV like her best friend or a friend from college or friend from back in the days. You know what I mean? So she kind of sees where she kind of gave up on herself to build a family and to build everything with this man. And now look, he dashing her away. But at the end of the day, I feel like she kind of brought that upon herself because she threatened him, regardless of if she wanted to do it or not. She threatened him with the idea and he just kind of went along with it. She didn't expect that. So yeah, I feel like it kind of backfired for both of them at the end of the day. So now she said, you know what, she's grateful and she gave him the papers back with some notes from her lawyer. And now they're going to move forward from there. And you literally saw tears flow down his eyes because like I said, he didn't realize that it would go to this. He felt like being bold and strong and just kind of showing that he was the man and he's in charge would work as it did years ago. But she's a new woman, an older woman. And it kind of opened up her eyes to what she got to do for herself. And I guess sleeping in that motel for the night kind of humbled her a bit because That thing was nothing compared to what she's normally used to. I mean, yeah, that was not, you know, I guess it kind of made her look like, damn, this could be my life. Nah, I got to make something for myself. So yeah, she about to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure that you go ahead and comment down below. I will see you in the next one. That's pretty much the episode.